Crypto fam, welcome back to the channel. Aaron here from the Bitcoin Bros coming back at you with another cryptocurrency video today. And what's coming next for Bitcoin and crypto could be massive. We have some really huge news that came out over the past 24 hours. Bitcoin is looking set to have an explosive second half of this year. We're going to start off looking at some TA, getting into some news, looking at some altcoins at the end of the video. Stay tuned for all this information in today's video. But looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, it's not doing anything too crazy. A lot of people are freaking out because we're down a little bit from the all-time highs that we hit back in March. We're down around 12% from the high, and everybody's freaking out. But right now we are sitting at a support level at around $64,000. That is a huge support level for BTC. If we break below this, we could see Bitcoin go all the way down to around $56,000. But as long as it stays above that 200-day moving average, we're still in bullish territory and we are still in a bull run. So we're still bullish. Expect Bitcoin to just trade sideways, maybe come back up here, retest the highs, and then come back down. But later this year, it is looking like we will break out from these highs that we hit back in March and make new highs and get back into price discovery mode. So that's what we're expecting for Bitcoin, just looking at the historical price of BTC. The second half of this year and then going into 2025, we should still be pretty bullish. And then we've had some really big news here. This is from Michael Dell. This is the founder of Dell Technologies. And people are speculating, is Dell going to do what MicroStrategy has been doing with Bitcoin? Michael Dell has been tweeting a bit about BTC. He's talking about scarcity decreased value. He says Dell is now the largest merchant to accept Bitcoin internationally. This is back in 2015. So you can see Dell has been interested in Bitcoin for a very, very long time, and he obviously understands what Bitcoin is and why it's important. So there's been some speculation that Dell will be the next company to put BTC on the balance sheet. And then just to put that in perspective here, Dell is a $105 billion market cap company. That's really big, especially when you compare it to like MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is a $26 billion market cap company. This would be the biggest company to adopt a Bitcoin strategy, put some Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Yes, Tesla has done it. Yes, Block has done it. Other companies have done it, but they haven't done it in the way that MicroStrategy has done it. MicroStrategy has gone all in for the Bitcoin standard. They've gone all in, and Bitcoin is basically their entire balance sheet. If we saw Dell do something similar to that, we're going to see billions of dollars flow in from Dell buying Bitcoin, putting it on the balance sheet. Really something to pay attention to. If we see that, that could be huge for Bitcoin's price, and that could be huge for this crypto market going forward into 2024 and 2025. And then some other big news here. The Winklevoss twins donated 30 Bitcoin to Donald Trump's worth over $2 million to put an end to Biden's admin's war on crypto. So this is the first election that we're really seeing these presidential candidates come out. Donald Trump coming out and saying, hey, like, I'm going to stop Joe Biden's war on crypto. I love Bitcoin. I might put Bitcoin on the balance sheet for the United States. He's been saying a lot of crazy stuff in regards to Bitcoin. He really likes it. So that's good to see. And Joe Biden's actually flipped his tune on BTC. When the SEC dropped their lawsuit against Ethereum, it was actually coming from Biden's team. So Biden may be flipping his script on Bitcoin and crypto. And we know Republicans have been pro-Bitcoin, pro-crypto, but now Democrats are actually coming to the pro-crypto side as well. So this is good to see that Bitcoin and crypto is becoming more of a bipartisan issue in the United States. And then the massive news yesterday, MicroStrategy continuing to buy Bitcoin. They bought $786 million. They got around 12,000 BTC. Adding that to their stack, they currently hold around $8 billion of Bitcoin. Around $6 billion of that is profit. So they're going to continue to stack. Saylor said he's going to continue to buy the top forever. And I think we should expect to see that going forward. And like I said here, you can see that they are at $6.6 billion in profit. That's huge. MicroStrategy, if you believe in Bitcoin, Bitcoin goes up. MicroStrategy is probably going to outperform Bitcoin because it's a leveraged Bitcoin play. Over the past year and a half, they've really outperformed Bitcoin a lot to the upside. So MicroStrategy is a great proxy to invest in. If you believe in Bitcoin, you might want to put some MicroStrategy in your portfolio because it could outperform BTC, especially if Bitcoin continues to perform well over the next couple of years. And then some other huge news. Bitcoin ETF launched in Australia's main stock exchange. So we're seeing these Bitcoin ETFs launch all around the world, in Asia, in Europe, in the United States, obviously, and now in Australia. So Bitcoin ETFs are slowly taking over the world, and this is just going to allow another vehicle for money to flow into Bitcoin. Definitely not a bad thing for Bitcoin. So really, really good to see. And we are expecting to see those Ethereum ETFs get approved here over the summer, and those start to get traded potentially over the next couple of months, especially with the lawsuit being dropped from the SEC. We're going to probably see the Ethereum ETF sooner or later in the United States. So just more crypto adoption around the entire world there. Oh yeah, MicroStrategy, they did boost their BTC per share. Now per share, you're getting 0.013 Bitcoin per share. So like I said, if you believe in Bitcoin, camera died, but you may want to put some MicroStrategy in your portfolio there. And then some other huge news. The president of Argentina, he came out on Twitter and said, there will be free competition of currencies. So if you want to use Bitcoin, there will be no problems. And you can also use other units such as WTI, BTU, and the one that is the most appropriate for your business. So he's basically saying like Bitcoin is legal tender here. And you know, he has been very against the central banks and the Federal Reserve. So he's actually very pro Bitcoin. This is just more Bitcoin adoption around the entire world. This is really, really good to see. And that's just good for Bitcoin going forward. And this is one of the reasons why most of us invest in Bitcoin. Look at the total public debt. This is in billions of dollars here. So we're at $34.5 trillion in debt in the United States. And as you can see, it's not slowing down anytime soon. The debt is just continuing to go up and up and up. COVID obviously had that big spike to the upside, but we really haven't slowed down since then. They can't stop printing money. They can't stop the deficit. They're going to continue to print more and more money. These politicians don't know how to balance a budget. Obviously, we've seen that over the past 20 years. So you should be investing into assets. This is why we talk about Bitcoin so much. This is why there's so many people on crypto Twitter talking about crypto, because of this issue. You can't just save in dollars. You have to kind of speculate, go out there, try to make some moves, invest in things like Bitcoin and crypto, and try to make some money off the money that you have, because inflation is eating it away. And here's the M2 money supply. This is the total amount of dollars in circulation. And you can see over the past year, it's actually started to peak up a little bit here now. So they're actually starting to stimulate the economy with more dollars. So that's just going to be good for assets. That's going to be good for Bitcoin. That's going to be good for real estate. That's going to be good for the stock market. They're just putting more liquidity into the system. So when you see that, you know that it's time to just continue to invest in Bitcoin, opt out of holding fiat currencies that are going to be worth nothing over the next 20 to 30 years, and opt into something like Bitcoin. And then we are starting to see countries around the world cut interest rates. The Swiss National Bank cuts rates by 0.25% to 1.25% after cutting rates in March. This is following rate cuts by Canada, Denmark, and the European Union. Obviously, the United States is coming next. The numbers are showing that inflation is slowly coming down here in the United States. And housing is really the only thing that's keeping the United States inflation numbers so high, the CPI number at least. So when that number comes down, we're going to see inflation come down in the United States, and the Federal Reserve is going to cut interest rates. And they have to, because as these interest rates have been so high, they've had to pay more interest on the debt that we already have. So lowering the interest rates actually lowers that debt payment that we have. So I think what's coming next for the United States, this is not financial advice, but I do believe we will be cutting interest rates more than expected, more than the Fed is forecasting in the second half of this year. And that's going to be good for risk assets. And then you can see right here, Arthur Harris saying, who really cares about Fed cuts? When you combine the Fed Treasury activities, the net is an injection of $21 billion per month. This is one of the reasons why tech and AI and crypto are pumping and will continue to pump. He's saying, forget the physical economy, it's all about the online economy. So even if we don't lower interest rates, he believes Bitcoin, crypto, and tech stocks are going to continue to go up. And this is what we've seen for Bitcoin. Bitcoin was $20,000 last year. Now it's at $70,000, and interest rates haven't moved a bit. So we may not even need to see interest rates get lowered for Bitcoin to go higher. And that's yet to be seen for the rest of the year, but it does look like Bitcoin is going higher when you look at the historical performance of BTC. And then NVIDIA, the most valuable company in the world. So NVIDIA just flipped Microsoft as being one of the most valuable companies in the world. And over the past couple of days, they've been flipping back and forth here. Microsoft actually just reflipped NVIDIA, but you can see they're very close at being the #1 company in the world. But that headline made a lot of AI cryptos pump. We saw FET, Ajax, Render, and Prime all have nice days. You can see right here, FET had a nice move to the upside after NVIDIA became the biggest company in the world. Then the headline is really what helped these AI cryptos out. And you can see they started to pump here to the upside. This is Ajax, and you can see it had a nice move to the upside here. This could be a local bottom for altcoins potentially. We could definitely go lower, but if we are still in a bull run, these altcoins will probably start to trade sideways and then make their way to the upside just a little bit. But that's good for AI cryptos. I think as long as NVIDIA continues to do well, the stock continues to go up, we'll probably see these AI cryptos continue to perform well, especially going into the second half of this year and then going into 2025. And then there were a couple of cryptos that we wanted to cover that a member in our Patreon wanted us to look at. So just covering it at the end of today's video, but we do not hold these cryptos. Just gonna go over them, give you guys our thoughts on these cryptos. The first one is LCX. This is a lower market cap crypto, around $174 million. Over the past 24 hours, only $900,000 of volume. So not a lot of trading volume for this one. It looks like it is an ERC20 token there. And LCX, basically what it is, it's a centralized exchange token. As you can see right here, LCX, we build blockchain infrastructure that enables our clients to trade, store, and invest in the crypto asset markets in a regulated, trusted, and secure way. You can launch the exchange. So basically, LCX is competing with the likes of Binance, Kronos, KuCoin, FTX, FTT token. Obviously, that's not there anymore. Hubai Global, all of these different exchanges that have these tokens. That is the category that LCX is in. Being a $174 million market cap, I think LCX could do well. It could come up with the rest of the crypto market. I do believe that Binance really owns the space. I believe Kronos is another crypto that could do well as a centralized exchange coin. I'm not actually going to be really bullish for centralized exchange coins in this cycle. I think DEX coins will do a lot better in this cycle just because everything is moving towards the layer ones, the L2s. People are really trying to get away from these centralized exchanges. I think that's the next phase in crypto, is when we really have this decentralized mainstream adoption. So I wouldn't invest in this one, to be honest with you. I think it will come up with the rest of it. If the crypto market's bullish, I think LCX will definitely have some gains. I don't see it doing anything crazy though. That's just my opinion though. Don't listen to me. That's not financial advice. Any one of these cryptos could blast off. The meme coins have been going crazy, so you don't really need a lot of utility to do well. And then the second crypto we're gonna be looking at here is PNG Pangolin. And this one I like a little bit more. Pangolin is a DEX coin and it's fairly new. So getting into some of these new cryptos that have done really well, I think that is actually a good sign for what's to come in the bull run. Most people in the community who have gotten in have made money. They haven't really lost a lot of money. So they're more incentivized to talk about it. They're more excited about the project. And what Pangolin is it is basically a DEX. So decentralized exchange, and it's built on AVAX. So this is on AVAX Avalanche. It is a lower market cap crypto, only $93 million in the market cap. The volume actually looks really good though, $1.7 million. When you compare it to the market cap, that is pretty huge. And you can see that it's only 419 on coin market cap there. But when you compare that to all the other DEXs out there, I mean, Pangolin could do well. One of the top DEXs on Avalanche is, if Avalanche continues to do well going into the rest of this year, Pangolin will also do well. Comparing it to some of the other crypto projects out there though, it's competing with Uniswap, it's competing with PancakeSwap, it's competing with Jupiter and ThorSwap. There's so many DEXs out there. There's a lot of competition. So for this to really get into like the top 20, top 50 cryptos, I don't really see that happening. But I think DEXs will do well in this next cycle. I think DEXs will be cryptos that really blast off. And I think Uniswap will have a lot more competition than it had in the last cycle. I think we'll start to see some other dexes like Jupiter, ThorSwap really compete with Uniswap in this next cycle for being the biggest dex. And we're already starting to see that with everything going on with Solana. Solana has been just blasting off as of late. And Jupiter's had a lot of exchange volume, even more than Uniswap on any given day. So that's my thoughts on those two cryptos. Make sure to check those out if you guys are interested. Just wanted to cover those quick, but if you guys are interested in our Patreon, make sure to check that out. It's really cheap to join. You get access to the Bitcoin Bros. Aaron and Sean get access to our community. You can ask us any questions. You can request us to talk about certain cryptos, and we will talk about them. So let me know what you guys think about everything I talked about in today's video. I hope you found any value. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.